Putin called me before this, saying Rome, Geneva, Turkey, the Emirates, and so on are being discussed. I said, no, well, going to Rome is somehow for us Orthodox. Yeah, he says, I understand. Well,
Ukraine is counterattacking in Donetsk region and especially around Pokrovsk. Ukrainian forces have advanced in the village of Zeleny Hay in the Donetsk region, driving out Russian troops. The footage was published by German journalist Julian Rupke of Bild. The Ukrainian army has already recaptured the third village in the west of the Donetsk region in 5 days, he said. Zeleny Hay is one of the key villages in the area where Russian forces are trying to break through defenses and reach the administrative border with the Dnipropetrovsk region. Previously, a group of Russian soldiers advanced to the outskirts of the village and planted a Russian flag, which was used by Kremlin propaganda to claim its capture. Ukrainian forces have since secured positions in the village. Russian troops are still attempting to advance toward the Dnipropetrovsk region to capture several settlements and claim a presence there, according to Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Oleksandr Syrsky. In the Pokrovsk direction, Ukrainian forces have already cleared 6 settlements and inflicted heavy losses on Russian troops. Despite the enemy's numerical superiority, units of the armed forces and the National Guard of Ukraine are carrying out their assigned tasks. As a result of successful strike and search operations, 6 settlements were cleared and hundreds of Russian troops were destroyed, Syrsky said. The situation at the front line remains difficult, but Ukrainian troops continue to repel attacks and retake territory occupied by Russia. Recently, Ukrainian forces also liberated part of the settlement of Tovste, forcing Russian troops out. Also in the Lyman direction, Ukrainian forces have recaptured Novomikhailivka and are continuing to press southward. Updates to follow. More charges are reported to have been brought against a Russian colonel who is accused of extorting, robbing, beating, and murdering his men, including his own second-in-command. Colonel Anton Necherda of the 1428th Motorized Rifle Regiment was arrested in the Kursk region of Russia in the spring of 2025 after years of complaints from soldiers and their relatives about criminal abuses in his unit. According to the VT8K OGPU Telegram channel, he now faces several new charges of abuse of office. Earlier in August 2025, the 2nd Western District Military Court rejected an appeal by his defense to release him from pre-trial detention. Necherda is accused of systematically extorting money from his subordinates, beating and torturing them, and even personally murdering them. He is said to have sent numerous inconvenient soldiers to their deaths in unsupported assaults. His alleged victims included his own second-in-command, Lieutenant Kol S.V. Filipchuk, who was killed 10 minutes after being sent by Necherda to a frontline position in Vovchansk after confronting his commander about his abuses. It's relatively unusual for senior Russian officers to face a prosecution of this sort. As the thread below discusses, in most cases they are practically immune from being prosecuted for even the most severe abuses. A new Chicago Council poll shows a dramatic shift in U.S. opinion. 51% of Republicans now back military aid to Ukraine, up from 30% in March, with overall support at 62% for arms and 61% for economic aid. Majorities in both parties also favor tougher sanctions, while 60% of Americans view Zelensky favorably compared to just 10% for Putin. NATO. Secretary General Rutte met with Zelensky. Key points. Turkey is ready to take responsibility for Ukraine's maritime security, but Ukraine still lacks enough F-16s to guarantee protection. Core principles of a future security system were agreed, while Russia is trying to block a Zelensky-Putin meeting. Rutte said talks continue on foreign troops in Ukraine as part of security guarantees. Detailed footage has emerged showing the launch and flight of Ukraine's domestically produced FP-5 Flamingo cruise missile. The FP-5 Flamingo is a Ukrainian-made long-range cruise missile first revealed in 2024, designed to strike deep into Russian territory with high precision. It carries a 350-kilogram warhead, has a range of around 1,500 kilometers, and is built to evade air defenses, giving Ukraine a powerful tool for targeting critical infrastructure far beyond the front line. Lukashenko said that Rome has not been acceptable for a meeting between President Trump and Putin.
The fact that he invited him to Alaska. Well, I say, well, somewhat exotic, but beautiful. Putin called me before this, saying Rome, Geneva, Turkey, the Emirates, and so on are being discussed. I said, no, well, going to Rome is somehow for us Orthodox. Yeah, he says, I understand. Well, we rejected all these points, so he says, well, let's wait for what the Americans propose.
The Danish Ministry of Defense has signed a contract for the supply of Colt Canada C8 MMR assault rifles. The Canadian company Colt Canada will be the manufacturer of the weapon. The total order volume is 26,000 units. The rifles will be supplied in 2 colors, black and khaki, to meet the needs of the military in different environments. Deliveries will begin this year and continue until the end of next year. The Colt Canada C8 MMR is a Canadian modification of the American M16A3 rifle, which is widely used in the armed forces of various NATO countries. According to the manufacturer, the model has 2 configurations, for the NATO 5.56 45mm caliber and the more powerful 300. The Danish military will prefer the 5.56 45mm caliber, as it meets NATO standards and is the most common in European armies. The length of the barrel for the Danish army will be 368mm or 109mm, as evidenced by a photo of the rifle published by Dalo. The Danish Ministry of Defense notes that the choice of this model will modernize the army's small arms and ensure compatibility with NATO allies. The weapon is designed to equip various units, including those involved in international operations. Earlier, it was reported that Denmark had accelerated its purchases of LMG M60E6 handguns, which would be delivered by the end of the year. The Ukrainian military also uses Colt Canada assault rifles. In 2023, the company was supposed to supply Ukraine with 21,000 assault rifles, 38 machine guns, and more than 2.4 million rounds of ammunition. North Korea has adapted its Bullseye 4 anti-tank missile system for use on light SUVs. Footage of the weapon's use during winter fighting in the Kursk region was shown in a DPRK propaganda broadcast. The Bullseye 4 was originally mounted on the chassis of the M2010 wheeled armored personnel carrier. Recent footage confirms its integration into more mobile vehicles. The missile features large stabilizers and a top attack mode designed to strike armored vehicles in their most vulnerable area. An electro-optical seeker is used for guidance, combined with command control via fiber optic cable. This setup provides the operator with a real-time video feed and the ability to manually adjust the missile's flight. During flight, the missile can scan terrain and bypass obstacles to hit targets behind cover or outside direct line of sight. Continuous video contact also allows the operator to redirect the missile to a higher priority target. The system is designed to deliver high accuracy at maximum range with the first shot. Alongside the Bullseye 4, DPRK units in the Kursk region also use the Bullseye 2. The Bullseye 2 is a North Korean modified version of the Soviet 9K-111 Faggot, equipped with laser guidance and upgraded optics. Footage of these systems was shown during a posthumous award ceremony for 101 DPRK servicemen eliminated by Ukrainian forces.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.